What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Monday, September 2nd, 2024. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Well, it's a new moon in Virgo. It's Labor Day. So happy holiday to everybody. Hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend. Hope you're all doing well. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for the donations that have been coming in. Thank you so much for the reviews. Definitely feeling a lot of thanks for this channel and a lot of thanks for you as viewers, so I appreciate you. Thank you. Well, let's look at the chart for this new moon. It's pretty cool. I'm kind of vibing with Virgo season this year. I think we're cleaning a lot up, right? We just had the big Ingress. Talked a lot about it in the weekend horoscope and came in with 2 yods. Fascinating stuff. Like, honestly, like that astrology felt like it was above my pay grade. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like that was like some divine geometry that, like, I don't know if a human is supposed to just give you the answers for. Like, that was something, I don't know, that was unique, special stuff. So I hope you had a great Sunday. I hope it feels, you felt the frequency shift in a good way. Because as we really get into Virgo season here, and like we start to really dial in what we're perfecting, cleaning up, harvesting in our life, a lot of it is going to be reflective of this final 2.5 months of Pluto in Capricorn, which is it's really like reshaping the peak, Capricorn, the peak of the mountain here for us. Now, look, I've talked a lot about this Neptune, which is exactly at 29 degrees, and like the world's weird. We live in a really weird illusion of reality right now. So the stuff we see from screens and medias, it's just crazy. I don't know exactly what's going to go on with that. It's Wizard of Oz shit. We talked about that. But on an individual standpoint, this Pluto coming back into Capricorn is redefining, reshaping, and giving us, like, it's all done. We're finishing here. This is our final building blocks to legacy, purpose. And I think it's just really important that we identify this. And I think that's a lot of the North Node in Aries, right? So this Virgo new moon, this lunation is very important, I believe, because it's only a short period. This is 2.5 months, November 19th. We're gonna see Pluto come back into Aquarius for the rest of our lives. Well, we're never gonna see it come back into Capricorn for the rest of our lives. How about that? Some of us will see, of course, Pluto in Pisces, maybe Pluto in Aries. Anyways, the point is, this is like the final stamp, and really Capricorn is a stamp. It's this like stamp. So we're having to identify and stamp our own approval of our own legacies, of the discipline within us, of the integrity within us. Like, and this Virgo season is really about cleaning out the closet, cleaning all the dust, knocking all the dust off of the stuff that isn't important for your destiny, your legacy. So it's important, and I think it's beautiful. And we got to remember too that Virgo's the pure, the Virgin Mary, right? It's the pure sign. So we're like, in essence, I think there's a deep infusion that's going to happen with a lot of people in the collective and a lot of people that are already awake, where they're really starting to clean out the closet so that they can really do the life's work. And I think that's going to be so different for everybody that it's not even worth trying to tell you what that's supposed to look like. But it's important, and you want to be in your integrity for this. And you really do want to be right with yourself, and I think be critical in the right ways, right? Instead of being, so harsh on self to where it's such a judgmental thing and a guilt and a shame thing. This is not about guilt or shame. Like, this is all about using data in our life that we've lived, that we've collected, and just using it positively and with like positive like affirmation behind it of like, yeah, that doesn't really give me the results I'm looking for. That is not purifying my reality. I have data. I've tried, I've experimented, I've done. So it's a really purifying energy for our destiny that we can come into here. And it's 11:11. Look at that, 11:11. So it is very divine in many ways. And it's like the soul realizing purpose, and being like very gentle with ourselves to be better. Because in essence, Virgo wants to put the cherry on top. It's the energy of getting ready for a wedding and everybody's making sure they look good and everything's perfect. So we're coming into a more perfected form of our individual selves and what we're here to do. And we want to be very gentle with us throughout the process, and we don't want to freak out, right? Like in a wedding, you don't want to freak out at the last second. Oh my God, it's not going to be perfect. It will be perfect. It will. You're going to live out the life you're exactly meant to live. It's all going to be perfect in the big scheme of things. So don't try and trick yourself into thinking it's not, but be enough of a critic of yourself to make little improvements to get better. Talked about the 1% per day thing. This is it. This is the time. Like 1% better a day. We don't have to go crazy. We don't have to do anything monstrous. We don't have to clean the attic, the basement, the kitchen, the bathrooms, the living room, the bedrooms. Not all at once. We can take one step at a time here. So let's start knocking some of the rust off some of the things that we're really good at. Knock some of the dust off the things that we know are important in our lives. We know they're built on integrity. We know they're built on something purposeful and mission driven. And let's start knocking some of the dust off that stuff. And the stuff that we know is just not working. It's not pure. Our heart's not in it. Because of course this new moon's disposited by Mercury. It's trining Chiron still. And it's in Leo, and it's direct. And of course it's in post-shadow, but it's direct, and the mind's trying to understand the heart in many ways, and understand how to define itself, and to show itself, and to be itself. And there's just this big concoction right now of a lot of self-definition, and having the courage to, I think, look ourselves in the eye and be like, this isn't working any longer. But it's okay. I tried. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It was worth the try. It was worth the lesson. It was worth getting dirty. Because now I'm purifying and cleaning things up. And I think that there's a really beautiful love built behind that. I think that there's a lot of self-confidence built behind that. We do have Mercury that's starting to square Uranus for the third and final time. So like, don't start making crazy predictions for yourself. Don't start trying to go above and beyond about some standard of perfection, because it's probably going to change and things are going to shift, and it's mutable. We're molding clay in life. We're molding ourselves right now. So just give yourself the freedom to try to be better, to not be hard on yourself for not being good enough. Screw that. Just liberate yourself right now to just try and be better. I'm going to be better because this will make me feel better. This will make me define a certain part of my life better. That's where things are good. Yes, there's crazy things that can happen. We're in a weird world. It's the Wizard of Oz world. There's all sorts of things in this illusion that are going to fucking be like, no, don't. Purify your life. Go back into this. Go back into that. So it's just really important, I think, to stay focused on yourself. Focused on your goals. Focused on your missions. Focused on the things in life that are going to put you into a future that feels pure to your heart, where you're feeling like you're expressing yourself in the most authentic, true way. And yes, there's a little orby here to the new moon, opposite Saturn. It's within 5 degrees. So we want to be a little careful about how loose we are. I feel like this Saturn in Pisces, and especially retrograde, is kind of like a little loosey-goosey a little bit. But Saturn's also like, well, don't be too loosey-goosey. It's Virgo season. So we want to be practical. We want to be, enough here to just really still envision, to see a future, to dream about something big, to not feel like we can't dream, because we can. It's just your dreams. What are your dreams? They don't have to come through a screen. They don't have to be told to you. What's your vision? What's pure to you? I think it's just like a lot of this is built on this soul integrity. And it's going to be so easy for people in their soul integrity, I think, to really make the proper adjustments, to feel confident, to feel good, and to start building routine up, and to start building a sequence of events in their life that get them further and further up this mountain. And I think that that's this Pluto finishing in Capricorn for so many of us. And yes, it's a grind. It's the top of the mountain. It's the steepest. It's the steepest. I don't know if you realize, right? Like, this is the peak, right? Like, look at a mountain. Mountain. We put some snow up here, right? We're up here. It's steep, and it could be easy to fall all the way off the mountain, and it's slippery because there's snow. So we need to buckle down, right? We need to get our crampons on. We need to, make sure we have our gear right. We need to be paying attention, and this is like the Virgo season, to be paying attention, to be on our game for that integrity, to get things done, to get to the top. There's a reason we're here. Each and every one of us, there's a reason we're here. Nothing's by coincidence. Nothing's by chance. So stop pretending that there's no reason. Like, this is about the defining moments of you realizing how much you can mold and shift your reality and have and accomplish a goal and a dream and a vision, and that is Aquarius, and we're going into that, the ideals, the future, the experiments, the new. Like, there's just so many things to look forward to. Dial your shit in now. Start feeling confident. Start feeling like I can do it. Be a well-oiled machine to make something happen, because this is our chance to make it happen. This is where we're hitting the next gear here. And yes, we got to pay attention. Yes, we can't just be all, you can't get too loose up here at the top. It gets a little hairy. So there's a lot of moving parts that want to help you slip. And we will slip from time to time. But we're not going to fall, and we're going to keep getting back up. And this is resilience. So this is, again, more resilient energy. We have to be resilient. And that's going to be some of the biggest stuff. Like, I feel like this is like some of the biggest stuff to just get you through the rest of this year. In this new moon in Virgo horoscope is like this little tidbits. Like, this is just like, it's almost silly. Because it's almost so simple, but it's hard at the same time. And that's Virgo. Simplified, but intricate, complete, dialed, adaptable. So there's a lot of moving parts. And look at Venus in the South Node. Like, they're almost conjunct. I mean, that's really vibey, to be honest. Like, the Venus loves K2, loves the South Node. So this is like definitely super vibey, and it's almost intoxicating, but we have to remember that it's K2, it's the South Node, it's the tail of the dragon. I mean, this is just kind of wasteland in a way. Now, it's not that like relationships are wasteland. It's not that harmony is wasteland. It's not that balance is wasteland. It's not that people or justice is. But it's definitely about making sure that you're identifying the right people, the right justice for you, the right balance for you. And that's part of the purification process. Because not every relationship is going to be a good one. It's not going to coincide with this destiny. And like, that's something we have to be okay with too. Is like really finding and identifying the right people, the right Aquarius, where Pluto's coming back to, the right tribes. So it's more than just like romance. It's like tribes. But it's a weird thing because human design's switching out of tribal energy too. So it's interesting with Pluto going into Aquarius, we're switching out of tribal, which is really, in essence, using the other form of Aquarius, which is individuation, individuated. So we have to also be in this place where we're becoming very individuated, making very smart decisions for ourselves. But we'll be around people too. There'll still be the tribe energy. It's not going to be all, just one. It's special. It's going to be crazy. I'm so interested in the next 20 years of humanity. I hope I live through Pluto and Aquarius, and I don't know if I will. That's not my decision, but I'm so interested in this transit. I just want the data. I just want the data. But yeah, that's that's majority of the stuff I have to tell you guys. I could probably sit here and talk for another hour about so many different things, but like that's the message. Like the message is here for you. And that's all I really got to say. That's all that. Let me grab my tarot cards. I had an amazing Labor Day weekend. I did some amazing hiking. It was so good. Which I could probably share some pictures, actually. For anyone who's interested. Let's see. Did they transfer? They did. Cool. Oh, crashed. I'll show it in a second. I'm just crashed my picture app anyways. Alright. Little waterfall action.
Can we check it?
Little lives. Dude, it was so beautiful out. Oh. That's Grass Lake. Hike past that. We were going up to the top of those hills. There was more lakes up yonder. But Grass Lake was great. And this was the Jameson Lake. There was like this little man-made dam up at the top, and there's a bunch of fish down there. So it was like a little honey hole. Honey hole for fishing. And then that was Jameson Lake. Jameson Lake was a vibe. And then we cooked steaks on a rock at Rock Lake. And we were flipping them with my kukri. My K-bar kukri was our spatula. So good. Potatoes. And then we hiked up to Wade Lake. And that was Wade Lake. And at Wade Lake, I got attacked by some ground hornets. But it's amazing. And I saved some reviews. And then this is Indian Falls. On the Indian Creek. I was laying on a rock all tired. My homeboy. Galactic vibes. Oh yeah, just taking pictures. Anyways. And then did a sick show. My homie Mike and J Ross, they just absolutely murdered it. Here we go. Yeah, this was good. I don't know. It's not playing the volume for some reason through the air server, but God, it was great. They were freestyling right there. Good times. What a good weekend. Anyways, that was some of my weekend. Let's get back to the tarot. Let's get back to business. I thought you said Capricorn, back in Capricorn. I gotta get serious. Well, look, we do. But there's gonna be moments where you don't, too. You can still enjoy life and beauty and have fun and laugh. don't have to be so serious all the time. As long as you're in your soul's integrity, it's all good. All right. Card is the Temperance card reversed. Yeah, it's funny, we're talking about like a little Venus South Node energy, and this kind of has that. It's like this divine balance, this everything's gonna be just chill, and there's like, okay, this patience, but it's not really like that. I think we want that sort of divine breather, if you will. But I think there's something about that foot in the water always with this card that's like, we really got to keep making sure we're dipping the foot in and making sure that we like what we're feeling, and not be afraid to jump in when it feels good too. Not be like scared to jump in when it feels good. If it feels good, it's right. And I think that's just part of figuring out certain intricacies and using certain data points in our life right now. What else? 3 of hearts. 3 of swords. Not just hearts. I don't know. Heartbreak card. I think in this case, it's like we are the culprit for breaking our own hearts. We need to stop putting that on some structure in the world, some person in the world. It's not anybody's fault. We break our own hearts because we're too worried about doing something perfect or not thinking we're good enough. So let's just chill out on some of that stuff and remember that we're here with purpose, and we're here to be in integrity with our soul. And as long as we're feeling that and we can understand that, there's no room for heartbreak. There's no room for some sort of mental calamity over something that is easily controllable. And it's a mindset thing. And Virgo's Mercury. A lot of this lunation's a mindset thing. Yes, it's like mental will in many ways, mental determination. So I think we have a lot to like get mentally right with in our lives, so that we stop trying to think that we can't. We're at the top of the mountain. There is no can't. Everything is I can right now. That we don't have time to trip ourselves out. We really don't. It's too slippery. It's too steep. Like, you just have to figure out ways right now to move forward and to keep going. So, I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm super tired. It's been a super long weekend. I hope this horoscope was helpful. Appreciate and love you all. And I'll see you tomorrow for Tuesday's horoscope. Happy new moon. Appreciate you. Bye.